Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to give you a tour of my game room. Let's do a quick pan around the room. Alright. So, where to start? Let's start with some CRTs, I think. So, come all the way around here to the right, and I've got an RCA True Flat 14-inch. This one's got a digital tuner on it. And we've got live TV that I can watch on this. I also have my original Xbox hooked up to it via component. Next to it, I've got this behemoth of a 35-inch NEC presentation monitor. Let's turn it on. Oh, we got some volume going here. Some Nintendo GameCube. GameCube on a 35-inch is pretty awesome. So these two CRTs, I've got this G-SCART switch running to each of them. So this one right now I've got Dreamcast running into one of the RGBs. I've got GameCube running into S-Video, and a VCR running into it via composite. But this thing is just a behemoth and a beast. So let's take a look at this G-SCART. Turn that off. So right now I've got it running to the this retro Tink RGB to comp. So I've got component running here. So with this G-SCART, I've got my Sega Genesis 32X, Sega Saturn, Sega Master System, Neo Geo CD, Super Nintendo, and PlayStation 2 hooked up to it, and I've got a TurboGrafx cable, but it won't reach at the moment. So yeah, I run a lot of my systems back and forth between these two. In fact, turn this one on and switch to RGB 2. And now take a step back so we can get both of them in full frame. Yeah, it's nice to be able to choose between the two screens whenever I want. Switch one, both. I can do a few other things, use the other inputs, and play multiple systems. But yeah, switch those off and we'll come over here. This is a Sony, why not look down here at my game consoles that I got hooked up and how I have them set. Underneath the PVM, I've got Neo Geo CD, N64, and Super Nintendo. There's this PVM. Right now, since I've got that G-SCART and the NEC monitor, which is RGB, this one I only have S-Video running to it with the N64. And this kind of has a tired-ish tube. It's kind of worn. I've got the contrast set at 90 out of 99 or 100. So it's, it still looks okay. Up here, we've got an Ikegami 9-inch PVM. And here's the NES running composite. And NES, this is just such a bright monitor. NES just looks so good. And up above it, got this KTV 5-inch, and it's actually kind of terrible. I don't think it ever really got used. It was new in box pretty much when I got it. The top of the box is open, so the face of it's kind of dirty. But the rest of it, never used. It's got an AV input. Got sports pad for the Master System. Got some posters. My original PS2 shell on a different PS2. I still have it, my original, but move on over. We've got this Toshiba. Well, let's turn it on. I've got Sega CD running with HD Retrovision component cables. Let me know if you know what this is. Moving over, I've got my little Tykes. Turn it on, and I've got a DVD player. And oh, it's Al. The whole hockey team. That's just mean. Pretty cool purple little Tykes CRT. Kind of rare, don't see a lot of them. Sega CD on top of it. I've got this Sony monitor, and the anti-glare coating is just thrashed. But below it, I've got a TurboGrafx 16 and a PS1. PS1's hooked up composite to this Toshiba. This Panasonic SVHS player is hooked up to the Toshiba S-Video. And then this Zenith DVD VHS combo is hooked up to the little Tykes. I've got some DVDs. Simpsons, Zappa, Crimson, Ninja Turtles. I've got a teeny tiny little painting. And a Sega Outrun keychain from 1986. Up top, I've got some magazines and some boxes. PS2, 3 PS2 boxes and 2 PS3 boxes. Coming on down to the game shelves. First off, I've got Sega Saturn. I really love shoot 'em ups. So I've got Battle Garega, Donpachi, Dodonpachi. Let's see here. This is my most recent pickup for it. Thunder Force. I love the Saturn. Here's start of my US Saturn games. Duke 3D, Daytona, Darius. I love Fighters Megamix. Game is fantastic. Then down here I've got Resident Evil Road Rash, Street Fighter Alpha, Virtua Cop. It's great. And onto my PS1. Here's my long box PS1 games. I've got In the Hunt, which I got at Goodwill for $2. That was a very good find. This is the only original PlayStation 1 game that I have from when I was a kid. This is actually the very first PlayStation game I got. I got it before getting the system for Christmas of 1998. My PS1 collection, top row. A PSONE. Second row. Here's a game that I beat fairly recently, and it was fun. Well worth it. Skull Monkeys is a very fun one. I like the Twisted Metal games a whole lot. And then I've got some Japanese and some disc-only games. Let's see here. It's an interesting shoot 'em up. And then this one is a very good Gradius game. You can get it on the PSP in the US, but that was the only place it was released. Move over to my PS2 games. Yeah, PS2 is a fantastic console. Katamari 1 and 2 are just so good. Absolutely amazing. And down at the bottom I've got some imports as well. My PlayStation 2 that I have hooked up is Mechaponed, so I can play import games. Over here I've got my GameCube collection with one Dreamcast game. And below it I've got Xbox and some overflow of just random stuff. Wouldn't fit elsewhere. And coming on up here, this is my first home game console I ever got. Sega Master System 2. I got this in probably Christmas of 1991, I would guess. Maybe 1990. But I had a Game Boy, original Game Boy before that, which I think I got the Game Boy in Christmas of 1990 and that 91. Got some Sega Neo Geo CD and Neo Geo Pocket. Then below that, some Game Boy Color. This is, I've had this box since I was a little kid. Well, not that little, 97 or 98, maybe 99. But anyways, I lost the game, and that Game Boy. Some Sega CD games as well. And, got my small Dreamcast collection, but Dynamite Cop is really the thing you need. That and Hydro Thunder are probably my two favorite. In 64, you can't see what any of them are. Mortal Kombat, Beetle Adventure Racing, Conkers, Star Soldier, Wipeout, couple Wii games, Sega CD, DS, some more DVDs, Overflow. This is a repro and it doesn't even work anymore. I'm sad. But moving up, we've got a very small Famicom collection, and then my Sega Genesis collection, boxed. And yeah, it's my biggest collection. I love it. Below it, Sega Master System. So some of these games I've had since I was a very little kid. My cousins had the Master System before me, and I would go over there and get to borrow games. So, like Double Dragon. I've had this copy since 1990, probably 1991. Moving on up, got some more boxes and some feathers. And I've got my NES collection, and Super Nintendo collection. I've really been big on getting some NES and Super Nintendo lately. I got that. It's the most recent Super Nintendo. And Super Punch-Out, which I've already beaten since I got it. It was fantastic. My cartridge-only Genesis and Mega Drive. Got Heckfire. And then some 32X games. I've got an NFL Quarterback Club. What could be better than that? And I've got some boxed N64, Super Nintendo, and NES games. And Super Famicom, but I think that's a repro. So up here, these are my Game Boy games. All the ones that are facing front are the ones I've had since I was a kid. Got some VHS, my VHS collection. It isn't too stacked. It has some decently interesting things. Here I've got my controllers that I keep bagged up. Sega, Nintendo. and keeps them all organized. I've got a Nerf gun and a Neo Geo controller. Piece of artwork that I did myself. Up here I've got Sub-Zero and 2 M Bisons. Here's my computer desk. Got some concert posters, original cover for one of my albums. My computer desk, there's a digital version of it. Some CDs, some books, and some retro computers that I don't currently have hooked up. I've got this. I'm working on finishing my album. And then over here I've got a Boss Katana and a Supro Comet, a newer one, and my Gibson Les Paul. And a little pig nose amp. This is one of the earliest ones made. Grateful Dead CD box set. And that's it. That's the whole room. It's pretty compact, but I dig it. It's perfect for me. If you made it this far, thank you. You take care. Bye-bye.